I went to Panda Express on Sunday and I said, "Oh, fortune cookie, I better not let go of this opportunity." The world is ready to receive your talents. Don't hold back. This one is interesting for me because it reminds me of back in the good old days when I was trying to like get a promo, move up, and all that. I remember how eager and excited I was and how I wanted to, I wouldn't say go really far, really high, but at least maybe two, three positions above fucking entry level. And then when I thought about it, I said, I think I have the right drive. I'm just not in the right place, meaning right career, you could say. But then when I thought about what it is that I really want, I'm like, I gotta keep it real with myself. I've never been an ambitious person, and my ambition is not just gonna start now. And even if I had a circumstance that warranted I become ambitious, like say having a fucking kid, I can't imagine doing all that. I would still find a way to make it work with the way things are currently. When it comes to talents, like I have said before in a different topic, I have been that person who has always had invisible talents, silent talents. I'm not the artist, I'm not the musician, I'm not the pilot. I'm nothing that you can really perceive with your eyes, but something that I've always been confident about is my ability to take a topic that I just learned something about, or maybe it's a topic I've been familiar with for a while, whatever the length of time my familiarity with it may go for. I am always confident about how I can break it down, take it in a different direction, expand it, simplify it, complicate it. And I find that is not something that is natural for people. You would think that that's something inherent to you as a being who has the capacity to think about things. But I am no longer disbelieving anything only because I have met people who cannot hear things in their mind. Like, say, you ever have a song stuck in your head? Some people say they can't hear that. Another thing people claim is that they cannot see things in their mind. Like, say, if I were to tell you, I like to ride a bicycle on a trail that consists of tulips. People couldn't imagine that. They can't imagine the field of tulips. They can't imagine me, and they can't imagine me on a bicycle riding through the field of tulips. And even the ideas that may be abstract, the things that you cannot really put into practice because in reality it's not something you can do. For instance, if I were to say, I want to hover through space and visit one planet to another, just go planet hopping. Somebody can't imagine that either. It doesn't matter how you see it, whether it is that you think that I can say, be at the moon, take a leap that's strong enough for me to reach Jupiter, because for some reason Jupiter is like within my range, is at a decent distance as opposed to light years away. People can't picture that. Maybe I'm having to take my imagination of the planet, say the actual scale of the planet, I'm making it smaller, or maybe I'm creating a new atmosphere, a new surface for Jupiter, despite it being a gassy planet. Like somehow it's similar to Earth, but maybe it just looks more brown and brick colored, clay colored, whatever it is that you want to imagine. And it's not windy, it's just calm as the sands. It's just a desert planet, something like that. Some people can't do that. And I wonder what it is that those folks could actually create when it comes to creative writing. Because my creative writing has always come from the things that my mind can picture, the things my mind can see, hear, smell. Sometimes I imagine smells. If anything, anytime I put flavors together, I want to say that's what I feel the strongest. When I'm imagining how I want something to taste, I can do that. I want to say that as opposed to listening to music or people's voices in my mind or imagining what something looks like, I'm more accurate when it comes to how something tastes that I imagine and put together in my mind more than any sounds I may imagine or any pictures I may imagine. When it comes to having a talent like that, I would say it's something you can work toward. Maybe it's one of those things that you guys have heard me say how I'm not impressed by people very easily. Like, say, if there's an athlete out there who's really good, say a very impressive gymnast, I'll always be like, okay. And I'm not impressed by it because this didn't come to this person naturally. This person had the time to train, they were invested in, they had coaches, they had mentorship for that. It's nothing raw. To me, what impresses me is raw power, raw imagination, raw talent. But if it's something that's been cultivated, something that you have practiced for, something that you have trained for, of course, you're going to get good at it. You're going to get better at it. Why would I be impressed by that? What does impress me is if you found yourself in like a desperate situation, a survival situation, and you were able to invent your way to safety, that's impressive because it's not something that comes naturally to people. Maybe out of adrenaline, out of frustration, desperation, you saw something in your surroundings that inspired you to create some kind of life raft. I don't know. That is impressive to me because I know that if it were me and I'm not in a survival situation, that would probably not occur to me. But maybe if I am in a survival situation, either it will occur to me or something else will occur to me that is not as good as whatever occurred to you. When it comes to talents, I feel like my talent has always been my ability to read people. When it comes to work settings, I'm like, you definitely don't belong here. Try going over there instead. Or you give me the vibe that this is the kind of personality you have, the kind of person you are, these are what you're striving for. This is probably not the best place for you. Try this instead. Or you're over there. I honestly think that you would be a good fit to be on this side of the field. How about if you join us? How about if you try this and that and the other? I'm proud of that every single time I score a good candidate or a good person and I'm able to persuade them without really trying to be persuasive to get them on board. The fact that they trusted me, they listened to me, and they acted upon my recommendation and it turned out good for them, it went well for them, that makes me proud because not everybody can make good suggestions. I have had people make disastrous suggestions to me. I guess my ability is, my talent is, I have a lot of power that I haven't really worked for, but I don't wish to deploy it until the time is right. Whereas, say, those who are with me, my friends, my managers, my teachers, everybody, they have always been like, you have all those talents and powers, as opposed to running away from it, why don't you embrace it? And I'm like, because embracing it is going to disrupt my life in a way I don't want. And I think that's very important because maybe I could want that power. I could want the career as a guidance counselor, as a life coach, whatever the fuck may be compatible with those abilities I have. But nobody's talking to me about schedules, commutes, the setting you have to work in. I like to be physically active. Those are jobs that are very sedentary. Those little things. Nobody talks to you about that. So why would I get involved in something that's going to be at a conflict with who I truly am? Not the version of me that you think you know on the surface, but the version of me that I know I am and want to act out in the daily. That is the point here. So there you guys have it. That's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what kind of thoughts or impressions this one left on you, because this one is one of those that I can always talk about it when I bend it to fit me. But in general, I'm not sure if I agree with this. Like, sure, about you not holding back on your talents and all that, but there are people who I think it's responsible for them to hold back on their talent, because sometimes, even if you have good intentions, you may represent a disruption that may not always lead to good things. And that is something you have to be responsible with. That is the point that I was trying to make. Okay, that's it. Bye.